There will definitely be some challenging aspects of class, but challenging is good. Modify as you need to. And if you have a block or a couple of blocks, I would suggest having those just in case. And Benjamin will be taking class with me today, so I might be stopping every now and again and teaching versus doing and teaching. So let's get started on our backs. And I like to start with my knees bent and bring the knees together and take the feet apart. If that's not comfortable, you can extend your legs straight out. Place your hands on your belly. And just start to think about the alignment in your body as you're laying here. So you want to set yourself up so that your spine is in neutral. So what I want you to think about is especially the curves of the back, specifically the lower back and the neck. So we want to make sure we don't have too much of an arch in the low back, as some of us do. And we're also not trying to push our low back down into the floor. So you have that gentle lift at the low back. And then the neck, a lot of times we've got the head forward and the chin lifted or pushed forward. So you might lift your head up and just bring the back of the head down to the mat so that you have that curve in the neck, and the back of the neck is nice and long. And then you might close your eyes and just start to breathe. So try to bring your breath in and out through the nose. Start to feel your hands moving up and down as you breathe deeply. You start to fill up the lungs more with each inhale, and then you empty the lungs out all the way to the bottom with each exhale. You can certainly move into Ujjayi breath at any point in time, so starting to create a more powerful breath by using the muscles at the back of your throat. Kind of like you're gasping on the inhale and kind of like you're, but we do that with the mouth closed. So it creates a sound that allows for you to stay present with the quality of your breath. And what you're trying to create is a smooth sounding breath, a smooth breath, a steady breath. And every single time your mind wanders away, as it does again and again and again throughout your practice, you want to just bring yourself back to the breath. If you get stressed out, when things get challenging for us, we hold our breath. So if you start to feel like, oh man, this is really hard, come back to your breath and just slow it down. And if you can't slow your breath down, then come down and rest until you can. Inhale, fill your lungs. Exhale, empty your lungs. And at the bottom of the exhale, start to feel your core muscles. So remember, your core muscles surround your hips and your spine and your shoulders. So you want to engage them in a way that you, on the exhale, they're just slowly and gently hugging in. And as you inhale, allow them to relax and stretch with the breath. And then as you exhale, gently hug them in. So we're not clenching, we're not tensing up, we're just engaging, supporting the spine. And now go ahead and stretch your legs forward and stretch your arms up over your head and just get a big, deep stretch through the whole entire body, from your hands all the way down to your feet. Point the toes. And now cross your right ankle over your left ankle and take your legs over to the bottom right corner of your mat, and now bend your body to the right. So we're coming into a side bend on our backs. So we're stretching through the left side of the body. Send your breath there. And then come back to the middle. And switch. Cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Send your legs over to the left corner of your mat and grab onto your wrist and just bend to the left. It doesn't really matter if you grab onto your left wrist with your right hand or your right wrist with your left hand. Breathe into the right side of your body. And then come back to the middle and cross your ankles. Now, bend your knees and place your feet flat. Keep your arms stretched over your head. Take a full breath into your lungs. As you exhale, pull your navel back towards your spine, and then we'll kind of press the back down just a little bit as we start to lift the hips up for an easy bridge pose. So don't even think of it as bridge pose. Just think I'm stretching through my hips, I'm stretching through my arms, my legs, the whole front side of the body. You might even sway your hips and your legs a little bit from side to side. Press the hips up to the sky, stretch back through the hands. Feel how, as we're doing this, as we're stretching the front side of the body, we are starting to wake up all the muscles in the back side of the body. And then lift your heels up and roll down very slowly, all the way back down to the hips. And then pick up your feet and bring your knees towards your belly together. Take an inhale. As you exhale, roll up through your spine, grab onto your legs, and give them a little squeeze. We're going to keep the head up and tuck the chin to support the back of the neck. And now extend and stretch out through your left leg. So the leg is hovering above the ground. Point your toe and really focus on stretching your left thigh bone away from the hip. And then change. Grab onto your left knee. Give that knee a nice squeeze as you stretch out really long through the right leg. And now with the breath, change right knee, and then left knee. So I want you to just do this a couple of times on your own. And ideally we're exhaling every time we hug the knee in. Little inhale as you're switching legs. Try not to move your hips or your spine. Just stretch long through the legs. And then go ahead and lay your head back down. And you can rock a little bit here from side to side. And then we're going to come up. So you can either come up by rolling to the side and sitting up that way, or you can grab behind your legs and you can rock all the way up. And then we'll come forward to our tabletop, hands and knees. So what I want to do is what I call turbo puppy, and this just comes from Anna Forrest and her turbo dog. This is a little more of an accessible way to do this. So what it does is it teaches us to set our shoulders properly on the back and start working on stability in the shoulders. So spread out through your fingers, and I want you to feel like you're really pushing the floor away from you, and like you're spreading the shoulder blades apart from one another. And then on your inhale, we're going to bend the elbows to the left and to the right, straight out to the left and to the right as you lower your chest. Now make sure you still have your belly pulled up and in. And in this position, what we're doing is we're winging the shoulder blades away from the spine. Now keep your chest lowered, but bring your elbows in to touch your chest or your rib cage. And now here, we've brought the shoulder blades back in towards the spine. And then also here where we are is we're basically in a chaturanga with our knees down, okay? And then push up and straighten the arms. And we'll do that a couple times with the breath. So on your inhale, bend the elbows to the left and to the right, lower the chest. On your exhale, bring the elbows in and then push up. Again, inhale. And exhale, elbows in. And push yourself up. Now toes tucked, send your hips back to your heels for pranam or child's pose. With the toes tucked, stretch out through the arms. Push down through your hands, lift your elbows and your armpits up away from the ground. Now, what I want you to feel here is that not only are you stretching out from your shoulders all the way out through your fingers, but you're also pulling energy by pressing down into the hands. You're pulling energy and strength back up to the arms, to the shoulder blades. Now walk your hands back to your knees and come on up so that you're sitting on your heels for broken toe. Now, if your knees If it's not comfortable for you to bend your knees this deeply, something you can do is take your block and put it between your heels and your hips. And you can sit like this. You might need to reach back and tuck your pinky toes under. Get a little stretch here. This can be uncomfortable, I know, but this is really important to stretch the bottoms of the feet and toes. Now take the arms up over your head, interlace your fingers together, flip your palms up to face the sky, and keep your shoulder blades down the back as you push your palms up to the sky. Really reach and stretch through both sides of the body. And now we'll take a bit of a back bend here. So start to bend back and look up and lift your chest up. And then as you exhale, push your palms forward, tuck your chin, stretch through the arms. On your inhale, come back up, look up, bend back. Exhale, round forward. And one more time, inhale. And exhale, push forward, stay here, and just come all the way forward again to your tabletop. You can untuck your toes. You can tap out the feet if that feels good for you. And let's do one more turbo puppy to set our shoulder blades for our down dog. So bend your elbows to the left and to the right. Hug the elbows in. Push up through the arms. Now before you go back to down dog, stay here, tuck your toes. First lift your knees for hovering tabletop. And now test that stability in the shoulders. You should feel really strong there. And now keep your knees bent, go back to downward facing dog pose. Keep the knees bent. Stretch back through the hips, stretch out through the arms. Now listen, inhale, come up high to your toes. As you exhale, come back to your hovering tabletop. Now, I'm going to start to straighten my legs, not all the way, because I don't want to send my shoulders too far forward with my wrists, towards a plank position, and then all the way back to my downward facing dog. And we'll do that a couple more times. Come up high on the toes, inhale. Exhale, hovering tabletop. Inhale, shoot forward towards the plank, and then go back to your downward facing dog. Again, high to the toes, inhale, exhale. Hovering tabletop, inhale, come forward to plank, and stay here. So now I might walk my feet back a little bit so that my shoulders are over the wrists. And you can always do this with the knees down, right? And modify there. Keep the belly pulled up and in, keep the shoulders stable. I'm gonna bring my forearms down onto the mat now. And feel here like you're trying to rip your mat in half with your forearms. Broad through the upper back. And let's come down for Sphinx pose. Walk your elbows forward, pull your chest through your hands, stretch your legs back. You can bring your head down here as well. Stretch to the back of the neck, maybe bring the ear to the shoulder, and then the other side. Stretch to the sides of the neck. And now lower all the way down to your belly. And bring your hands in line with your chest. Hug your elbows in. So I want you to think about what we did with our turbo puppy. Hug your elbows in by your sides. Stabilize your shoulders. And then exhale to push yourself up either through your knees or all the way up to your toes to a plank. And then find your way back to your downward facing dog pose. And now take a few breaths here. You might start to reach your heels back a little bit closer to the mat, but don't force your heels to come all the way back, especially if that causes you to round through the spine. So we want to focus more on getting more length and more extension through the spine. Now walk your hands back to your feet, and we'll take a forward fold here. Grab onto your elbows if you'd like, and just sway a little bit. Relax your head. When we're in a forward fold, we want to think about letting the weight come forward more towards the toes. On your inhale, lift halfway up and straighten your back. Now you can put your hands on your legs You can also use a block, but whatever you've got your hands on, you want to have your hands on something, you want to push your hands into the block or into the legs or into the floor to help you really straighten through the spine. And then exhale and fold forward. And now you're going to come up to standing in a way that feels good for your back. So some of us might round up, some of us might come up with a straight back, but come all the way up to standing and sweep your arms up over your head. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to your heart center, Tadasana Mountain Pose. Let's do a couple of half salutes with the breath. Inhale. Reach up and stretch. Exhale, stretch forward through the spine as you come all the way back down and get into that forward fold. On your inhale, lift halfway up, straighten your back. Long back of the neck. Exhale, fold. Now hold empty, navel to spine, come up to standing with your core engaged. Inhale the arms overhead. And bring your hands to your heart. Exhale. Again, inhale. So I like to say it's as if you're dancing with your breath. Exhale. You let the breath initiate the movement. As soon as the breath begins, inhale, lift halfway up. You follow it with the movement all the way to the end. Exhale and fold. Strong legs, come up to standing. Inhale. And bring your hands back down to your heart center. Exhale. Inhale. Reach up. And exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold your hands forward to a plank position. Stay here. You can always come down to the forearms if you prefer, if that's better for your wrists. Now we're going to lower all the way down to the belly, but we're going to go as slow as we possibly can. And we're going to make sure that we have that sensation of the shoulder blades spreading apart and staying stable as you lower down. So you can always come to the knees if you want, but begin to lower slowly. And what happens a lot of times is that our shoulders either hunch forward around our ears and shoot forward, or they go back too far. So try to keep that middle spot where the shoulders are firm on the back. And then on your inhale, low cobra pose, pull your chest forward and stretch your legs back out of your hips. And as you exhale, lower all the way back down. Do that again. Inhale, low cobra. Pull your chest through. Exhale, lower down. This time, 3-part cobra. Inhale, low cobra. And then as you exhale, come up a little higher. And as you start to straighten through the arms, just make sure here again, you don't lock the elbows forward or shoot the shoulders forward. So elbows back, soft bend in the elbows. Exhale, lower down slowly. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, come up a little higher. On your inhale, pull your chest forward enough. And as you exhale, lower slowly. And then brace everything for your push-up. So elbows in, shoulders firm on the back. Exhale, push up either through your knees or through your toes, and then back to your downward facing dog. Lift up your heels, look forward, and then either step, walk, or float lightly to come to the top of your mat. On your inhale, let's lift halfway up and straighten the spine. And as you exhale, fold forward. Come all the way up to standing. Inhale the arms overhead. And exhale, bring your hands down to your heart center. Tadasana Mountain Pose. Let's inhale the arms overhead. And as you exhale, twist to the left, cactus your arms, draw your elbows in, shoulders down the back. Look back. Inhale, come back to center. And now twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Do that one more time. Exhale, twist to the left. Come back to center. And then twist to the right. Good. This time come back to center. And now let's bend backwards. Once again, cactus the arms. Bring the elbows in, shoulders down the back. Push your chest up to the sky. Belly pulled up and in gently. Hips forward, thigh bones back. Inhale, reach up and stretch. Exhale, bend your knees and sweep your arms back behind you. Now you can stay here. You can also practice balancing by lifting your heels high. You can stay here. You can also practice an arm balance by bringing your hands to the mat and going into crow. So I teach this one a lot because I think it's a much more accessible arm balance than most people think. So it starts just by pressing your knees into the backs of your arms and then pushing your arms back into your knees and then rocking the weight forward, holding that stability in the shoulders as you practice picking up one foot or both. And then we're gonna step back. If you're ever jumping back, just make sure you're jumping back to chaturanga. So we don't jump back to plank. Then we'll lower slowly. Take a vinyasa slowly, chaturanga, from the knees or from the toes. Inhale to your cobra or maybe your upward facing dog. And now lead with your belly. So pull the belly up and back to get back to your downward facing dog pose. Stretch through the arms, stretch through the spine. On your inhale, lift your right leg up, and now stack your hips. Open your hips up by stacking your right hip on top of your left hip. You can bend your knee, you can circle the foot. Think about hugging your outer left hip in. On your inhale, reach back through your right leg, and as you exhale, bring your knee towards your right arm. Just point it in that direction, or maybe touch it. And then reach back and stretch. Inhale. This time, point your knee towards your left arm. Don't let your hips sink here. Inhale. And then, of course, we're looking at stable, strong shoulders. Exhale, right down the middle. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot up to meet it. On your inhale, lift halfway up and straighten your spine. And as you exhale, fold. Come all the way to standing. Sweep your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Okay, so we're going to go into a couple of standing balancing postures. I'm going to take my socks off. Starting with tree pose. And I'm going to start by standing on my left foot. And I'm also going to have my block really close to help. You can also be close to a wall or a chair or something to put your hand on to help you balance a little bit better if you need it. So standing on my left leg, I'm going to come into tree pose, bring either my heel to my left ankle or my foot to my calf or my foot to the inner thigh. And then push your foot to your leg and push your leg back on your foot. You might keep your hands on your hips for a minute just to feel the levelness in the hips, stability in the hips. You can keep your hands on your hips. You can also stretch your arms up over your head, your call. Keep breathing. Remember, you can have your hand gently touching the wall here for a little more support. Now I'm going to twist here. So I'm going to twist to the right and I'm going to cactus my arms. Bring the elbows in. And now here's probably the greatest challenge. We're going to go into half moon pose from here. So I'm going to start by taking my foot off my left leg and beginning to stretch it back behind me as I eventually bring my left hand. Maybe you just hover the hand. Now, you might fall out. This is not meant to be perfect. This is meant to challenge you and come into this posture in a way you're not used to doing. Breathe. Hug your outer left hip in. Push back through your right foot. Softly step all the way back on your mat. Whew. Flip your left palm open. Reverse your warrior. Feel that nice deep stretch to the left side body. You might even straighten your left knee here. Really deepen that stretch to the left side. Feel the strength in that back leg. And now side angle pose. Bend the left knee, bring your forearm to your thigh, reach across the body, over the head, So you feel a deep stretch to that whole right side body now. Now begin to twist a little deeper. Look up underneath your right arm. Breathe. Good. Now bring your right hand down to the mat. Bring your left hand down to the mat. Step back into plank pose. Roll over onto your right side for side plank. So roll to the side, lift up by, now you can always put your right knee down. This is a great variation on side plank. So right shoulder, make sure it moves back and in. Maybe the legs straighten, maybe you lift your top leg. Are you breathing? Bring your left hand down. First, go back to down dog and walk your feet in a little bit. We're gonna get a twist here. So, and give that right hand a break. So reach over with your right hand and grab for the outside of your left leg and take a twist. Now soften your knees, make sure you're not locking your knees back. Pull energy up the left arm to that left shoulder blade to maintain stability and strength there. And then come back to down dog. And then you're called. You can stay in down dog. You can take a vinyasa if you would like, coming forward to plank, lowering through chaturanga. You can take a child's pose here as well. Do what calls to you. Breathe. Slow everything down. Feel the rise and the fall as you breathe in and out. Now open up your hip, stack your left hip on top of your right hip this time. Hug your outer right hip in, strong arms, stable shoulders. Inhale, reach your left leg straight back. And as you exhale, bring your knee towards your left arm. Just point it in that direction or touch it. And then reach back and stretch. And point your knee towards your right arm. Reach back and stretch. And then come up high on those back toes. Try to use your core strength to step your foot through between your hands and then step your right foot up to meet it. Halfway lift, inhale. And fold, exhale. Come all the way up to standing. Inhale. And bring your hands to your heart. Take a breath. All right, let's take that tree pose on the other side. Tree pose to half moon pose. You know what's coming now. So, step into your right foot, left foot to the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh. Push your foot into your leg, push your leg back into your foot. Lift the pelvis up off of the thighs. Maybe the arms come up. Maybe your hands stay on your hips or hands stay at heart center. We're going to twist to the left. Keep breathing. Now, just slowly take your left foot off the thigh and start to reach it back. Go slow. Use your wall, use a chair, use a block to help support you as you move into this more challenging balance. Stack your left hip on top of your right hip, hug your outer right hip in. Unclench your toes, unclench your jaw. Keep breathing. And then slowly bend the knee and step back. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior. You can straighten that right knee. Stretch down the whole right side of the body. And then bend the knee and come into your side angle pose. Reach over the ear, twist the spine, look up underneath the arm. Bring your left hand down to the mat. Bring your right hand down to the mat. Step back to plank and roll over to your left side this time. So again, you might bring that left knee down, left shoulder back and in. Hips high. Full deep breath. Really strong, active legs here. Bring your right hand down, stretch back to down dog. Walk your feet in a bit. And now reach over with your left hand, grab onto the outside of your right leg, twist. Come back to down dog. Take any movement that feels good to you, either holding your down dog, taking a vinyasa, a child's pose, grabbing a drink of water. You can also hold a plank and then go back to your downward facing dog. Stay in your body and listen to it. It'll tell you what it needs. Stretch your right leg back behind you. Inhale. And once again, we're going to step forward. So bend the knee, come up high on the back toes. Really pull that knee in close to your belly. Step through. You can always use your right hand to help you get up. Now, just come up to your fingertips for a second. Squeeze your inner thighs towards the midline of your body. Hug your outer hips in, and then come up into a high lunge. Feel the strength and that back leg. Really push back through the heel. Now cactus your arms, bend back, push your chest up to the ceiling. Inhale, reach up. And now come forward towards a runner's lunge. So I'm just going to lean forward without collapsing into my hip and not letting the shoulders round forward. Inhale, big arms forward. And exhale, bend into a little flow here with the breath. Inhale, reach up. And exhale to your runner's lunge. One more time. Inhale. Bend back. Inhale. Runner's lunge. Now stay in your runner's lunge. We're going to slowly shift weight into this right leg. So you can always scoot your back foot in first and then lift up into warrior three. Breathe. Step your left foot next to your right foot. Sit down, put your hands at your heart. Chair pose. Weight is back in your heels. Now I'm going to twist to the left and bring your elbow either just right up against the thigh or across the thigh and begin to twist your spine. Now I want to try to keep my hips pointed straight back, the top of my head pointed straight ahead. I might put my hand on my back of my hips to feel where they are in space. You might bring your left arm up or bring your right arm down. Now from this position, start shifting weight over to your left leg. Pick up your right heel. Pick up the foot and step it all the way back. Again, it's not expected to be perfect. You are expected to fall out and just come right back into it. Again, your left arm can go up if you want. Your right arm can go down. Now, I'm going to stay in my twist, but I'm going to just rise up into a high twisted lunge here. And bring your elbows in. On the inhale, we're going to twist forward. Reach your arms up, straighten your left knee. As you exhale, twist to the left again. Bend both knees. Elbows in, shoulders down the back. Push into your feet. Inhale, slowly come forward. Exhale, twist. Bend the elbows, bend the knees. Inhale, forward again. And last time, exhale, twist. This time, inhale, come forward, and then open up for warrior two. So just spin to the other direction, to the right. Stretch out through the arms. Now, keep your eyes on your left hand. We're going to do another balancing exercise with both feet on the ground. So keep your eyes on your left hand, and then straighten your left knee as you bring your arms up, overhead, palms touch. Keep looking at your left hand. Exhale, bend into your left knee, come back into warrior two. Inhale, straighten the knee, reach the arms up. Exhale, back to your warrior two. Again, in. And exhale. Now stay here. Straighten the left knee, but keep the arms parallel to the ground. Reach out for triangle pose. Reach and reach and reach and stretch. My block's always just out of reach here. Triangle pose. I like using a block. You can put your hand on your leg. You can put it down on the mat, but make sure that you're not sinking into this left hip. Every time you inhale, reach out more, extend through both legs, through the arms, through the spine. And as you exhale, feel your feet, feel your navel draw in towards the spine and maybe twist a little bit deeper. Now make sure your core is engaged, your legs are strong. We're going to come up and just turn your left toes in. Keep your arms parallel. Take an inhale and exhale to go slowly back forward. So go down really, really slow. So put your hands wherever you want them to go. You can put on a block, on the mat. Just come into a forward fold. I like using a block to place the top of my head on. And what that allows for you to do is to create more space between that. So push the crown of the head, chin is tucked, feel that space between each vertebra and the vertebra. Make sure your knees aren't locked. Quads are activated. You can feel the quads, make sure that they're active. Belly pulled in towards the spine. On your inhale, come up halfway. And now exhale and bend your left knee for spin slowly. Again, here, your knee might not like bending super deep, so you might stay a little higher in this side lunge, or you might come down lower. Try not to lock your right knee here. Energetically pull the heel towards you. Take any expression that feels good, that calls to you. And now from here, I'm going to take you walk with me. Spin around, face the front of the ground, step your back foot down about halfway with the toes turned out just slightly. So I'm going to place my block inside of my left foot. Left hand will go to the sacrum. Square the hips, so left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then twist to the left for revolved triangle pose. Left hip back, right hip forward. Breathe. Left arm can go up or not. Make sure your shoulder feels okay with it. Keep twisting. Keep drawing that left hip back, right hip forward. Now release the twist. Look down. Bend into your left knee. You're going to take my knee forward. I block forward and shift away with that left leg to your right leg. So your hands can be on the floor, the hands can be on the block, and you can also do it without hands if you really want to challenge. So we're going to do what I've always known as a Kundalini squat. I've heard different things. So on your inhale, try lifting your right leg up a little higher without lifting your hip up higher. And then as you exhale, bend both knees and cross your right knee behind your left knee. On your inhale, straighten the legs again. And exhale, bend the knees again. Inhale, extend. And exhale to bend. Last one. This time, extend and reach and stretch your leg. Now step your right foot all the way to the very back of your mat. Let me keep my right hand side of my left foot. Bring the left hand to the sacrum. And now twist to the left. Now I'm going to start to go deeper. So try to get your right glute activated as you start to drop your right knee down to the mat. Woo, you should stop. My leg shakes. You should start feeling that in your hip flexor in front of your right hip. And then go as deep as you want. Let that hand drop a little bit and drop a little bit more. You can start moving your glute away from you as you roll onto the outer edge of that foot. And that's something toes tapped. We're going to send the hips back, towards the right heel half split or full split if you're really feeling it. Just be really careful of your hamstrings, forward again. You're going to come into lizard now. So I want you to pop that back knee up, scoot your feet a little further apart, and make your way down onto your forearms. So you just start by putting your forearms on something like a block. You might eventually bring them all the way down to the mat. And then I want you to try, bring your left shoulder behind your left leg, and use your shoulder to kind of nudge your shin forward as you stretch your right heel back. Now, there's definitely options for arm bounds and arm bounds. If you know about those and you want to do it, go for it. I'm just going to say it on this right now. Back up to your hands, plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. All the way down. Take your right arm straight up. Bend your left knee, and then roll towards your right shoulder. Place your foot on the ground behind you. You can take the left arm, move it around, circle it. You might keep your left hand on the mat in front of you to support the stretch. That's really tight. The right side of your chest, the front of the shoulder. Send your breath to that space to help you stretch it, and to help you find more openness there. And then roll onto your belly, and take your left arm out to the left, and roll towards the left arm. Place your foot on the ground behind you. Breathe into the left upper part of the lung. Roll back onto the belly. Hands in line with the chest. Set the shoulder blades, brace the spine. Exhale, push yourself up again through knees or through toes, and then find your way back to down dog. Take that left leg and stretch it back. Exhale, high the back toes. Step your left foot through. Take your time. Set up your foundation. You're coming into that high lunge. Take strong legs, stable hips. High lunge. Crescent lunge. Lift your chest up. Look up. Top to the arms. The way to feel what you're doing here is you're really activating the upper back, the middle back, backs of the shoulders, backs of the arms, the whole back side of the body. Inhale, reach up and stretch. And then sweep your arms back. Keep your shoulders back and your chest wide open here. Inhale. Exhale, and back. Push the chest up to the sky. Reach up and stretch. Runner's lunge. Inhale. So your movement here can be a lot more subtle. You don't have to be moving so far forward or so far back. You might even have the support of that back knee down on the mat. I'll stay here. I'm going to slowly shift my weight over my left leg, pick up the right leg. This is where you might feel like you're squeezing your left glute a little bit more. Hug your outer left hip and breathe, 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 breathe. Step your feet together. Sit down into your chair, hands to your heart. Nice long spine. Now let's twist to the right, elbow to the thigh or across, hips back, crown of the head reaching forward, breathe. I'm going to slowly start shifting my weight over into my right leg. You want to make sure that right hip is ready to support you as you pick up your left foot and step it all the way back. Twisted prayer lunge. Right arm might go up, left arm might go down. Lately, I've been just liking keeping my hands together at my heart. And now stay in your twist, but rise up into a high twisted lunge. Bring your elbows in, palms open. Now slowly spin your hips and your shoulders forward. Straighten your right knee. You might come up a little higher on those back toes, palms touch. Exhale, twist to the right, bend both knees. Woo, elbows in, shoulders down the back. Inhale, straighten the knee, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale. This time, straighten the knee, and then turn to the left, open up, warrior two. Look at your right hand. Keep your eyes on your right hand as you straighten your right knee. Arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, back to warrior two. Keep your arms parallel, but straighten your right knee. Inhale. Exhale, reach out. Where's my block? It's never there. Okay, I'm just gonna use my leg. So just like we were talking about in that half lift, push your hand, your right hand into whatever it's on, and use that to help create more space on that right side to help you straighten your spine and to help you connect deeper to your core. Keep twisting. Your left arm can go up. It can stay on your hip or on your back. Breathe. Push into your feet. Come up. Turn your right toes in. Take an inhale. Exhale. Let's dive forward for another wide-legged forward fold. So you can do something different with your hands here if you want to keep your hands behind your back or grab onto your feet. Maybe you lunge from side to side, or you work on a headstand, a tripod headstand here. Remember, don't force the hamstring stretch. Keep your quads active. Back of the neck long. Breath full. Inhale, lift halfway up. Skandasana. Bend your right knee this time. Side lunge. Keep your left knee soft. And now I'm going to turn around, face forward again. Step your back foot in halfway. And grab your block, placed on the inside of your right foot. Put your right hand on your sacrum. Remember, left hip forward, right hip back. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then twist it to the right. Left hip back, right hip forward. Every time you inhale, let that spine grow a little bit longer. As you exhale, connect to your feet, your legs. Maybe twist a little deeper. Release the twist. Take your block, bring it out in front of you. Shift your weight into your right leg, pick up your left leg again. So again, for more advanced, you can do this without any hands also. Inhale, lift your leg higher, your left leg higher. Exhale, squat down, bend your left knee behind your right knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squat down. And inhale. And last time, exhale, squat. Reach long. And step all the way to the back of your mat. Your left hand, you can bring that block with you, can stay on the block. We're gonna twist again to the right. Now, make sure, right now, I want you to think about squeezing your left glute and then start to slow bring your left knee down to the mat. My leg shakes so much when I do this. It's a good thing though, right?
Right, yeah, sure.
And then twist. Your right knee can go away from you. You can bend that left knee and find your foot. Breathe. Gently let go of that foot. Square the hips forward and then send the hips back. Half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Come back to your lunge. And let's set up for lizard. So I'm gonna go a little wider, pick up that back knee, bring the forearms down. Might rock a little bit here. So again, what I'm doing here is I'm gonna back my hips up and lifting just a bit, bring the arm behind the leg, and then push my right arm and shoulder forward into that leg as I stretch back more through my left heel. And this is where you might go into an arm balance. Dare I try it? I don't know if I could have done that on the other side. Okay. So if you're on the forearms, you can come back up to the hands first. Step back and lower all the way down to your belly. All right. Bring your arms down alongside of you. Press into your feet, press into your hands, and then lift your legs, and lift your head and your shoulders, your chest, your arms. And stay here or bend your knees, reach back, and grab onto your feet for bow. You can grab your feet, you can grab your ankles. It doesn't matter which variation of bow. You can use a strap around the legs as well here. Breathe, kick. And then very slowly release. And just let everything go. Maybe sway your hips a little bit or the legs. Maybe just hold steady and breathe into the back. Bring your hands in line with your chest. Slowly push up. Stretch back to child's pose. Walk your hands back. Roll up and sit on your heels. Pause for a moment. And then set your hips off to the side. Bring your legs around in front of you and just find your way to a seat. And we're going to roll down as slowly as we can onto the back. Now, you might want to have your block close to you. We're going to take an inversion, and you can go over to the wall and do this. So legs up the wall is what I'm going to teach. If you want to go into shoulder stand or plow, and that's part of your practice, and you do it safely, go for it. Otherwise, you can put a block underneath your hips, or no block is needed. Just take your legs up in the air. Again, you can go to a wall and rest your heels on the wall. It's a really nice option. You can do that with the hips elevated as well. Just try to stay present, stay aware, stay in your body, stay with your breath. There's no rush for you to move out, but when you do, just begin to bring the legs down slowly. And as the legs are coming down, bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees open up wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. And you can still do this with the block underneath you. You can also slide the block out and hold the hips up for psoas release. Eventually, you'll bring the hips all the way down. And extend your arms and your legs out for Shavasana, for relaxation pose. Take a moment to situate yourself so that your body is still in good alignment. Your heart is open. The back of your neck is long. Relax every single muscle in your body. Recognize that this posture is just as important, if not more important, than all of the other poses and movements that we did today. So, especially these days with everything that's been going on, our minds are kind of spinning. And so this is an exercise to teach you how not to let the mind spin so much. So as your mind starts to wander away, see if you can just catch it, notice it, and then let it go by just coming right back into the moment, into your body, asking yourself, where are my feet? How does my body feel right now? What's happening with my breath? Just keep bringing it back again and again and again for these last few moments of class. breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend your knees and roll to your side. Keep your neck relaxed and bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands together at your heart and bow your head in honor of yourself, in honor of your practice, and in honor of one another. Namaste.